What the fuck is Upwork actually doing? So guys, welcome back to the channel. Hope you guys are doing well. Montel Gordon here. Hope you guys are all, staying safe and whatnot. You know what to do. Follow, like, subscribe, do all that good stuff. Follow my Instagram and whatnot. But guys, I want to get into some serious shit here. Other day, the 26th of May, I'm a little bit late. I actually seen this, but I didn't want to make a video until I kind of had a little bit more facts put together. So below this video, I'll leave a link to this actual article, like this document thing from Upwork. A lot of you guys know I use Upwork to get like most of my clients and whatnot. And they've just released this dumb ass update. Like, I just can't understand. Well, I can understand it because obviously they IPO'd and whatnot, and now they've gone public and whatnot, and like they have to have their investors in their mind. But I'm looking at my computer right now, I'm reading this, I'm just thinking, fucking hell, it's a little bit annoying. It is actually a little bit annoying, but we can still get past this. So if you guys don't know what's going on right now with Upwork, again, I use Upwork to get all my, like 99% of my clients basically. I use LinkedIn as well for like inbound stuff, but that's more of a slow burn process. You guys know all this if you watch back my channel. But on May the 26th, 2020, Upwork said they're gonna change their terms of service. Basically what they're doing right now is that they're making it so that you can only communicate when you get when you send over a proposal and you then open up a thread, what you call a candidacy, and you start talking to people, you can only communicate now via Upwork's messenger, which is cool with me because I always did that anyway. But what they've basically done is they've changed it so that now you cannot request any sort of email. You can't even send your calendar link. This is the thing, I can't even pre-qualify. This is the thing that's pissing me off the most. Look, alright then, so here's the change. The change is all communication has to be done through Upwork. You can't close clients out of the Upwork platform. You can't send over like anything that has your contact details where a person can contact you basically. The reason why they're doing this, guys, I can understand why they're doing this, is because they're trying to remain as profitable as possible, because Upwork makes money from the connects obviously, and then when you close a contract, as in you get a contract on Upwork, you start working with somebody, they make money out of that. They take 20% if you've earned less than like 10k on your account, or they take like 10% if you've earned more than 10k. So that's how they make a good sum of their money. When you complete milestones and stuff like that, they make their money that way. And a lot of people have been taking clients off of Upwork, which is understandable because that 20% fee is just ridiculous, that 10% fee is just ridiculous, and you have to pay for connects and whatnot. But it's still a very viable way to get your first few clients, and I highly, even when this change has gone on, I highly recommend it. But guys, when I first heard this change, I thought, fucking hell, Upwork's done. This was like this, that was like Google back in like 2018 when they released Penguin, where they removed like certain areas of where you can actually run ads on Google now. So like on Google, on the right hand side, there used to be like a column of where you can actually place your ads, and a lot of business relied on those, and then they wiped it off, and now you can only run ads on like the top section of Google and like the bottom section. It was like that. I thought it was like that, but then I'm reading into it now, and they've actually just done an update, and I'll read you some of the stuff that you can now do. So basically, I thought that this whole shit was gonna be done. I thought Upwork was done. The way how I was getting clients was done. I was actually stressing about this. I was literally shadow boxing the air. I'm actually a fucking idiot. Like, look guys, it's not actually as bad as it sounds. It is a little bit bad. It just, only thing it fucks up for me is just my one system, and maybe trying to take clients off of Upwork and whatnot. Look, so basically what they're saying here is, basically, in long story short, they don't want you contacting any clients outside of Upwork. You have to stay on Upwork, which I was doing already, but once I basically, so what I was doing, me personally, was sending out proposals and using my calendar link so people could book in. And this is the thing I just can't understand. Why would they do this? So within my calendar link, I send them my Acuity scheduling, which is kind of like Schedule Once. If you guys know any sort of like calendar software, you guys know what I'm talking about. I use Acuity scheduling, send over my link, they book what you call a discovery call with me so I can see whether we're going to be a good fit or not. Within that discovery call, when they're filling out their details to select the time and date of our call, there's an application form they have to fill out. That eliminates people who are going to be time wasters. So I asked them questions such as, what's the current monthly revenue of your business? What's stopping you from getting to your goal revenue? What is your goal revenue? What's your business website so I can take a look? What's your email? I asked like first name, last name, email address, of course, phone number, of course, just in case they don't turn up, so I can text them, be like, yo, I don't really use my phone, but I don't really do this. But like, even I actually think I made a video on this on my channel as well, that I was changing from Acuity scheduling to Calendly, because Calendly actually does text message reminders as well. I know Acuity does it, but it's like a more expensive thingy, and I only want the text messaging thing on Acuity anyway, and it's like a more expensive version. But essentially guys, that's basically fucked up my way of booking in discovery calls, to be honest. Now, me, I'm just a small fish in the pond. There's people who have literally built their entire lives on Upwork, so I really do feel it for them. And what it basically means now, guys, is that they're trying to say you can do certain things, but I still believe that they're going to be very strict with it. And what I mean by that is like with the clients, I send them my Acuity scheduling link. I can't do that anymore, as in I can't book meetings with them. So this is actually going to decrease my show up rate, because I'm going to have to manually, literally like a fucking caveman, even though we're living in 2012, I'm going to have to use a pen, a piece of paper, to literally take, you know, say I've got a meeting with John Smith at fucking Monday 3 p.m. Don't miss it. I'm gonna have to literally revert back to being a caveman, going back to that old shit I used to do with like paper and pad to remember my meetings. I'm not gonna be able to book them into my Acuity scheduling no more. And the best thing about the Acuity scheduling thing is that it sends automatic follow-up emails. You see, when somebody books a call with me, they get a confirmation email, they get a reminder email just reminding them when our call is, where our call is, and I even have my little Zoom link in there so that we can, oh, that's another thing they're fucking removing. You can't have calls on fucking Skype or Zoom anymore. Oh god, what have they done? Oh god. So look, guys, it sounds bad, but we're gonna have to find a way around this. I know there's a way around this. You're just gonna have to. Alright then. So here's what they're saying. I can't use my Acuity scheduling no more. I'm gonna have to fucking manually book in meetings. The Zoom stuff, whenever somebody books in a call with me, like I said, there's a confirmation that goes out, and then there's 3 reminder emails so that they know when our call is. I actually have in my emails, you know, set to 24 hours before our call, our meeting, if you will, they get reminded. 6 hours before our call, they get reminded, and 1 hour before our call, they get reminded, and that increases my show up rate dramatically. Now I'm gonna have to remember to, first of all, write this person's name down, John Smith at 3 p.m. in like a fucking book. I'm then gonna have to send out manual reminders to these people to obviously manually follow up. I guess I can get an outsourcer to do this and whatnot, but it'd be a little bit difficult on Upwork, because if they use like VPNs, I believe you can get, don't quote me on this, but I believe you can get like a ban for that and whatnot. But guys, it's just made the process just a little bit more difficult. To be fair, Upwork is still, I still believe it's gonna be the best place to get clients from, but I've already got another plan in mind. I was mentioning this. If you take a look at like first couple of my videos on Upwork, in fact like a couple of videos back, in fact just a couple of weeks ago, I mentioned that like Russell Brunson, if you guys know who Russell Brunson is, the guy who actually owns ClickFunnels, the founder, one of the founders anyway, he says that you should never rely on one traffic source, and I believe I may have relied on, I wouldn't even say Upwork's gonna die right now. To be fair, what I'm reading right now on the screen, for example, one of the problems I thought was, okay, if I'm not gonna be able to use Zoom, how can I share my screen to show clients certain things? But he's saying that, you know, on here, like there's a big FAQ thing, and by the way, the community kicked off when Upwork released this, like they announced it on the 26th of May, there was a huge thread of just angry comments of people saying, nah, fuck this. Well, I wouldn't say fuck this, but you know, they were saying, how are we gonna be able to do this? How are we gonna be, like, there was one comment I remember, and I was actually reading them because I was just thinking, how can they do this in their own platform? But people were just saying like stuff like, whoever's made this change is obviously childish, they're immature, they don't actually own a bit, they don't actually run an actual like freelance business or an agency, because you need to, for example, if you're running Facebook ads for somebody, you need to take a look at like their Facebook ads. I know you can look at the ads library, but you can't really get any metrics from that. Or if it's like you're a web, like a coder, for example, you need access to certain things, and that's going to reveal contact information, and again, that's not allowed on this platform going forwards on the 26th of June. So the 26th of June, these changes roll out. So one of the things I was concerned about is, you know, first of all, the Zoom calls and sharing my screen. Can I still share my screen and stuff like that? And now they've actually just released this. When was this released? This was released on the 4th of June. So what day is it right now? This was released yesterday actually. So this was released yesterday, and it was an update, and now they're saying basically they try to answer the most common questions, such as like, I am a client who needs work done on my website, is it okay if I share the link, or is that not allowed? They're saying yes to that now. What about sharing my portfolio? Because this is another thing I was kind of worried about. What if I want to share my portfolio with someone, because that's actually one of my strategies? But they say you can still do that as long as it doesn't have any contact information in there, which mine does. So all I'm gonna have to do realistically for me is just change that. What about signing non-disclosures before contract agreed? So the whole thing I should have mentioned before is that Upwork's now changing it so that you have to communicate on the platform. You cannot share any personal contact details, such as any links to your website that has contact details. Well, they're saying you can. You have to mention the fact that they can't message you on email. So if you have like a website with your portfolio on it, and it has like your about us section on it, and you have like contact details like your LinkedIn, your Instagram, your email, you have to say to the client, this is what it's saying here, you have to tell the client not to message you on outside of the platform, only on the platform, which is a little bit annoying. Can you still submit like video proposals? Yes, you can still do that. How do you verify someone's credentials and professional memberships? You can use their names and stuff like that, but again, you can't send personal contact detail over, any sort of contact detail over. So that means I can't use my Acuity stuff anymore to pre-qualify my leads. I can't use Zoom anymore. I used to love Zoom. Zoom is my favorite like web hosting platform. And the thing is with Upwork, apparently I've never actually used it, but their calling system, like the voice call and video call, is really shit, like very laggy. It drops all the time, but obviously Upwork's gonna say that they've made improvements to that, which is what they're saying here. And then obviously after the contract starts, so when you actually close a client, you can then communicate via Slack and Zoom and whatnot. But I still think it's gonna be very annoying. And the main takeaways for me here is, I guess, is that one, I'm gonna have to now figure out a way to manually remember my fucking meetings and manually follow up. That's a little bit of a tedious thing. And then I'm gonna have to use Zoom, their actual video calling conference type of software, whatever they've got on that's built into Upwork messengers. So that's the only things that I kind of have to change for me. It's not actually that bad. I'm still gonna be using Upwork, guys, going forwards. I believe that they are gonna very dramatically improve. If they're actually gonna be serious about these changes, I think they're gonna, first of all, I really do believe that, like, if they're gonna successfully roll out these changes, they need to change the video software, the video hosting software, like the meeting software. They need to improve that so that it's not lagging, it doesn't drop. They need to make sure that there's some sort of calendar software where you can book a meeting really easily. Because now I'm like, obviously when the 26th of June rolls around, when these changes actually like drop, I'm gonna have to frigging go back. And this is one of the things I always used to tell my students as well: just get a calendar software, because it's so much easier just to send a link over to a client and just say, pick a time that's both available to me and you from a calendar here. Pick any time that suits you, basically. Now I'm gonna have to go back to the manual way of going, are you available at fucking 3 p.m. US time? Then I have to do the manual calculation and go like, what is 3 p.m. EST time to fucking GMT time? That is annoying. Then I'm gonna have to remember when the call was set. Then I'm gonna have to remember to follow up with them, which means I feel like for the first couple of months the show up rate is gonna be terrible for my calls, because everybody's gonna be kind of like just forgetting when their calls are. So when you book a call with somebody, you have to remind them that their calls at this time multiple times, so that they actually show up to your call, so that you can actually close them. So I feel like my show up rate is gonna decrease. But apart from that, I'm still going to be using the platform, because I do believe it actually is a wonderful platform to get actual clients on. It's really changed my life, changed the way I would do SMMA, and it's allowed me to do some other things, such as now I'm taking my agency and kind of going the traditional route, which is, you know, doing the cold calls again, not cold calls, cold emails again, and cold Instagram messages and cold looms again. But now I have the income from Upwork, from the clients that pay me, and I mentioned this in like 2 of my other videos just this week. Go watch those if you haven't. But this has allowed me to then use that income that I'm making from clients that I've closed on Upwork and invest it back into hiring like a lead sourcer for my actual agency outside of Upwork, so I can actually then go and reach out to like e-commerce businesses, lead source and stuff like that, and reach out to them. So I don't have to spend my time, you know, sourcing leads for e-commerce, because I know that's a very time consuming thing. But guys, these changes have rolled around, nothing we can do about it. And this is the thing that Russell Brunson was saying. Don't just rely on one traffic source for your business, because if they make a change like this, you don't actually own the traffic. That's the thing Russell Brunson says. If you don't own the traffic, there's always going to be a risk of the company that you're relying on to just change. For example, if you build an Amazon FBA business, or like you're just relying on Facebook ads for clients or something like that, and then Facebook ads or Amazon just quickly change their policy or their terms of service, you can literally just wipe out your business, like what happened in 2008 with like Google ads. But this is not too bad. There's only thing again that's changed really for me is that I'm gonna have to manually book in calls. There's gonna be no pre-qualifying like questions for them to fill in, which is a little bit annoying, but I can still get around that by just doing like a 10-minute call with them to pre-qualify them then, and then jumping on a bigger like discovery call. We can do that and kind of break it down into 2 call close, I guess. So that would be a way around that. The second thing that's going to change for me is that I have to just remove the contact details from my portfolio. Apart from that, I then just have to actually use the video conferencing software built into Upwork and just remember to follow up, basically. So it's not as bad as you actually think, and I'm still going to be using it because I still believe it's going to be a great platform to go ahead and get clients from. It's just goes to show you that companies can literally just change up on you just like that, guys. But guys, with that being said, I hope you've enjoyed this. I hope that you can still see that Upwork's going to still be a viable thing. It's just that when you rely on one traffic source and it changes like that, it can fuck you up. Well, it's not really fucked me up. I'm just saying, just be careful of this sort of stuff in the future. Because all I have to do now is 5 different things that I wasn't doing before, and it's still going to work the same, to be honest. And there'll probably be a way, and as time goes like along, there's probably going to be a way to get around this. There's always some sort of way to get around this. Trust me, there always is. But anyway, guys, look, I hope that you've enjoyed this. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.